Did you agree with the decision to allow horse owners to attend the Cox Plate on Saturday?
Yes, I did, and it was the wrong decision to make, and that's why it's not happening.
Why
And for any inconvenience or any distress that's caused, I'm very sorry. But that will not be happening on Saturday.
How did any of you think that it was a good idea given what everybody else is being forced to endure?
Well, again, I'm not here to defend the decision. We've basically we have basically changed that. It is not happening on Saturday. There will be, I think, some owners at a later point, and hopefully that at that later point we've made other changes. I suppose, Lundy, I can only be clear with you and say it was the wrong judgment to make. The Minister's spoken to that this morning. I'm confirming for you that it's not happening, and I am perhaps less focused on what's not happening on Saturday and more focused on what I genuinely hope can happen on Sunday, and that's some announcements around further easing, which will make lots of things possible and give people back many different freedoms and lots of different important parts of their life that they have well and truly earned.
Premier, can you please explain why it was considered safe for 500 plus people to attend the races, but still thousands of local businesses can't reopen?
Well, I'm not here to provide medical advice. This went through a normal process. It was deemed safe. They weren't all, literally, they weren't all sitting on top of each other or next to each other. They would have been spread out, and they would have been there in smaller numbers over the course of the day. Again, I'm not here to interpret that, but it went through the normal process. But it was the wrong decision. I'll cop that. The right thing to do is to change it. That's what we've done. It won't be happening on Saturday.
We're constantly told that these decisions are based on science and data. Is it fair to say that that wasn't based on science and data?
That's not fair to say at all.
Sorry?
That's not fair to say at all. I've just confirmed for you that these matters went through the normal process, and there was public health advice, and it is wrong to characterise, it's not 500 people in a space the size of this. It's outdoors, all those things. In any event, it went through the normal process. It was the wrong decision. We have rescinded that decision. This is not happening on Saturday. And with the greatest of respect, I'm much more focused on what is potentially happening on Sunday rather than the things that are not happening on Saturday. I apologise if there's any distress or concern that's been caused. I think that it was not the right decision to make, but it was right to cancel that and to make sure that that doesn't happen.
And can we just clarify, was it cancelled because it was unpopular? So it was acceptable from a public health point of view, but cancelled because it's unpopular? Is that correct?
Yes, and it was cancelled because clearly it didn't meet the expectations of the Victorian community. But it is wrong for anyone to suggest that this didn't go through a process. It went through a process, public health advice, all of those things. But clearly, it was, when you reflect upon it, it was not the right decision to make. I can't be any more frank than that. We shouldn't have made that decision. We did, and now that decision has been changed, and that will not be occurring on Saturday. And hopefully there is a time once we do genuinely hope on Sunday to be able to make some announcements about the future. And if these numbers stay on trend, then we will be able to do that. And there will be a place for lots of different events, but there'll be, rather than one particular event being treated differently, there will be perhaps a greater freedom across many different events, and hopefully that meets with significant support.
Do you think people are justified in having less confidence if the 8 of you made that decision that you concede?
Well, it's many more than 8.
Sure, but if the 8 ministers,
well, look,
if you made that decision, are people justified in having less confidence in you?
I would respectfully say to people, no. I wouldn't invite people to form that conclusion. Some may. That's a matter for them. But if you get it wrong, then you stand up and you say so and change the decision and move on. And that's exactly what we've done, and it won't be happening. So I think that is the appropriate step to have taken. Minister for Racing has spoken about this a bit this morning. I understand he's going to do a press conference later on today, and he can answer any other specific questions that you have about an event that's not happening. I know it's of great interest, but it is not happening. I can confirm that for everybody watching and listening at home.
Are you able to say who actually approved, take us through the process of how it...
I think the process is well understood. There's public health advice from the public health team, there's a cabinet committee, there's lots of discussions back and forth on literally hundreds and thousands of issues. This decision was made. It was not the right decision to make. That's why it's been changed.
Were you surprised by the Racing Minister's decision to cancel? He said this morning that he didn't speak to you about it.
I was on the phone, I think, on an unrelated phone call when he was keen to speak to me, and when I hung the phone up there was a few messages, and I think he'd spoken to my office in the intervening period, and I fully supported. We had some text exchange after that, and I fully supported the decision that he made to essentially cancel what was going to occur on Saturday. I think that's the right thing. That's the right thing to do.
Premier, why are you?
Sorry, did Brett Sutton approve the crowd size? Was he happy with that number of 500?
It all through the normal public health team, all those channels, and that's all signed off by that team. That isn't the issue. The issue is it didn't meet the expectations of the community. It was not the right decision to make, and that's why that will not be happening.
I suppose Victorians feel that the issue is they still can't have more than 10 people at a funeral, and they can't open up their business if they're
I
in
think that's-
retail,
yes.
pubs. So why are you waiting till Saturday? Why can't you do it now if it's all of a sudden safe to have 500 people at a racetrack?
I'm not waiting.
So why are you
So
waiting
I'm
till
not
Sunday?
quite sure why am I waiting till Sunday.
Or November 1?
Right, I think we have established, well, I've certainly tried to establish over many weeks and months now that we have to wait for case numbers each day. I cannot predict what the number will be tomorrow. I cannot predict what the number will be on Friday. I cannot predict what the number will be on Saturday, and therefore we're waiting until Sunday. Yes.
Why was that announcement made midweek when everything else that's announced we have to wait for a Sunday?
I've got no idea. I didn't make the announcement. The announcement was a media release, wasn't it?
You made the
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah. I'm not quibbling with that. I'm being honest with you. I don't know why it was announced yesterday.
Well, why was it made yesterday though? Or why was it made beforehand when all the other restriction decisions sort of are made up until, say, Saturday
No,
night?
it's not. No, hang on. This is a decision that is not happening. Right? It's been made. It's been changed. It's not happening on Saturday. Obviously, if you made a decision about an event that it was occurring on Saturday, then you couldn't wait till Sunday to make that. I think that's the point I would make. I wouldn't read any more into it than that. Other than it was the wrong call. It's now been changed. It won't be happening. And I don't know that there's much more than I can add other than to again confirm for everybody listening and watching at home, it was the wrong call. It's been changed. It's been fixed. It will not be happening. Let's not so much focus on what's not happening on Saturday, but instead be focused on what may well be able to happen on Sunday, and that is further easing of these rules because of the amazing job and hard work that so many Victorians have done.
The grand final's on Saturday, and you've been very clear that there won't be a decision made on easing restrictions until Sunday, yet this decision on what appears to be an easing of some restrictions was made on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add to what I've just said. I think I've gone through that in some detail.
Premier, can you
And again,
explain-
I make the point, it's not happening.